And we've jumped ahead, but in developing that comedy, so it starts in sixth form college, but what kind of performance then would you be doing?
Well, the thing that got me hooked, and it wasn't something that said, that's it, I'm going to be this, and this is my path in life. But it was the one thing that I sort of did well throughout all of my school. We did a production of Taming the Shrew, and I played Petruchio, and I had a ball, you know, and I sort of knew that this is what I could do, and I really, really loved that whole thing.
Which is a good unsmiling role. So
yeah, it was a good sort of, you know, a good part to start with for me particularly. And after that, I think I wanted to be an actor. That was what I decided. And it was my mother who obviously knew exactly what that entailed. Said, well, you be an actor by all means, but get some sort of trade or job behind you first, because you know, you don't earn money as an actor. You know, it's a very, very tough way to live. And I took that advice almost too seriously, because I then became a waiter for about 7 years, and until it became unbearable. And I then had found myself surrounded by all these other restaurant staff in Covent Garden, and there's a great community of waiters and barmen, and they all were at RADA, and they all had a band, or they were doing this and that. The comedy scene really was only just bubbling away, so there weren't any comedians there. But they all said to me, well, "What do you do, Jack? Well, you know, when are you?"
So you were the only one that was a career waiter.
I was actually a career sort of restaurant manager by then. I got caught up in it all. I was taking it seriously, and they were saying, "You know, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I do this." And they said, "No, but are you a trainee actor, or are you actually, you know, going up for parts?" And I said, "I don't do it." And there were 2 or 3 of them who said, "Look, you should be on stage. You should be doing what you do with customers on stage, you know, because I think you'd find it would work. And to be honest, you're not a very good waiter."
Well, I was going to ask you about the waiting side of it. You would have been quite a frightening restaurant manager. I mean, you were dour and unsmiling at the front of house.
Yeah, I was very thorough about it, and I've never done anything by half measures. And and being a waiter was an incredibly useful job later on, once I was needing to keep the money coming in. But I think I'm not naturally given to sort of forgiving people for being awkward or anything like that. So there were a lot of incidents where my nature actually worked against me in terms of being a waiter, and I lied my way out of situations with customers and things, just for the sake of it sometimes, just to get the order wrong on purpose to see if I could lie my way out of it or something like that. And it was, yeah, I was on thin ice really with that.